Hello everyone, we are along the Charles River. That's the Boston side, we're on the Cambridge side. See lots of people rowing. Let's get a little close-up look. There you go. Oh, they're interesting to watch. They're everywhere at this time of year. The water's nice and warm. Some of them are training for the Head of the Charles Regatta that comes up in the fall. So what are we doing today? Well, so far we've walked through MIT because we've done like a Harvard thing, but I hadn't went through any of the main streets through MIT. So we did that. And technically, to the middle of the river is MIT. It may have cut off by now, but I thought that was interesting when I looked it up on the Maps app. Anyway, it's Tuesday the 22nd of July 2025. It's 10:20 in the morning, 70 beautiful degrees. And I just couldn't resist bringing you out along with me for a walk. If you're new, you're going to want to subscribe because we go do all kinds of things from walks like this through urban areas, through a little bit rural areas. Next week, I'm taking you to the COG, which is a railway that goes to the summit of Mount Washington, the highest peak in the Northeast, over 6,300 feet, so over a mile up. And it's going to be fantastic. The weather looks good. I'm doing it next week. So, you will go with me and I will record the entire trip up and down. I don't know if there's going to be a part where one side is mostly just rock, but I don't think so. Not from the pictures I've seen. It should be very pretty. And I'll record both ways so I get both sides of the train on the way up and on the way down. I got the back row so that people won't see what we're doing and mess it up. No, they don't. It's whatever we run into. Yesterday, we talked to a workman who asked me about the camera and stuff, and we talked about it. And then he subscribed. He was number 210. We're going for 220. You can help. Push the button. Oh. There's also a Buy Me Coffee link if you want to help this disabled vet on a fixed income go to other places to bring you more videos. I did go to DC. A lot of videos from that. Museums, the National Mall, the National Zoo. And a couple months after that, went up to Maine, but it was like a week too early for the foliage. But oh well, it was fun. And then I'm going to do this COG thing. There's somebody on a paddleboard. COG thing, which afterwards I'm staying at a Swiss chalet. They're in the mountains, so I don't know if there'll be like walking paths or just kind of, sit there and look at the beauty. I asked for a mountain view of my room, and I think they told me that those were not available. I didn't really understand the message because there was a typo like right before available. So I don't know if it was is not or is. So find out when we get there. It's an adventure. I've walked across this bridge before, but bridges make me nervous because despite having flown hundreds and hundreds of missions in aircraft and military, I don't like heights. She's out there paddling. There was somebody who was doing that. I just saw a video recently in the ocean and chased away a couple of sharks. She got close and they just took off like normally they swim slow. Oh no, this was flapping that big tail and getting the hell out of there. wonder if they put their tails all the way in the water so that they get, the most power behind it. The most shark power, because it can't be horsepower, right? Anyway. Yeah, this is the BU Bridge, Boston University. Because on the other side is Boston University. And I gotta hold the handrail. Which I wish was on the other side, but it's not. I can stop and look and it's fine, but I have balance issues and vision is whatever comes in, and I don't have anything on the right side to look at. But water, that screws me up. It's part of my disability. If you have pre-diabetes or diabetes, take care of it. I ignored mine for a long time. I'll just flat out admit it. Now I can't feel anything with my feet due to nerve damage, neuropathy. We're not even halfway yet. See, I fear all the clumsy things, like my headphones are gonna fall out, or I'm gonna drop you and you're expensive. There's a guardrail on the other side, but it's too short to touch. See, walking like that with my hands on my pockets, I could not do that anymore. That's one reason I get nervous, because I did fall once. Turned around and forgot that I was on a 2-inch raised thing. Went to step down, my foot didn't feel that there was anything, and down I went. Very nice people helped me up. It was raining, I dropped the camera. I was all like, here, take this, instead of helping me up. All right, so we're in the middle of the river. There you go, there's a good look for you. I also can't look sideways and walk, because my feet can't feel the ground, so I have to see it. Steps going up are fine, except for being out of shape from sitting on my butt after 4 surgeries in the last 2 years. But up is okay. Down, I can't see the step I'm trying to step on, so my foot kind of goes down and tries to push back until it's touches the front of the step above. Sometimes I miss. It also makes me go very slow. There's the other side. Oops, sorry. Had to push my glasses up on my nose. Normally I would have used the other hand. It's busy right now. Okay, there was a thing written on the bar that said F milk. Don't know why. Maybe they're lactose intolerant? Yeah, I also can't look up in the air, and same reason I lose sight of the ground and immediately start to weebles wobble, and they will fall down. So helicopters, I have to touch something when I look up. If I can't see the ground, I need touch. It can be a wall or a walking stick, but in the dark or with the towel over my head, drying my head, yeah, that doesn't work. There was a sign that just said halfway, but we're already past the highest point, so I think that's for a race or something. Just wandering, walking sideways, looking at, yeah, I couldn't do any of that now. It's sad, really. And I was in the military, so I was able to do those things at some point. Hell, I was a jock. Starting setter for the base team in volleyball. It was fun. We'd go to all the Air Force bases during the season, and the teams from each base would play each other. Sometimes it was like a Saturday round robin and a Sunday elimination or a double elimination, which made for a long day. But I met some great people. One of the guys I played with at the previous base, where I didn't play anything but just recreational on, like, certain nights of the week. And one of the guys was from, I'll think about it in a minute. I'm thinking Guam, but I don't think it was Guam. Anyway, I'll maybe I'll remember. Memories go when you get old. Anyway, he was a KC-135 tanker pilot, and I'd been on a deployment to the Philippines, either for a typhoon evac from Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, which is get the hell out because a typhoon's coming, and we were part of the SIOP, Single Integrated Operations Plan. There you go. It's the nuclear war plant. Our job was to go in after any strikes and find out what was still alive, and then they go back in and kill it. So fortunately, we never had to do that mission, but the planes had to always be available. So Philippines, Guam, South Korea, I've been to all those with the RC-135s and E-3 AWACS. But on this particular trip, I was coming back on the tanker because I'd been down there to drive a 28-passenger bus, which meant I got to go on, basically vacation for a week. And it was a lot of fun in the Philippines. Anyway, we're on the way back, and he's the co-pilot, and they have to refuel some F4s that were owned by the Philippines, I think. Or it could have been us, because we still had some left at that point. They were mostly reconnaissance versions. But we had to refuel them, and they were having trouble finding us, and it was cloudy, but we were above the clouds. And they were supposed to be 1,000 feet below us. Well, I'm watching the refueling, laying back next to the boom operator. There's like benches that you lay down on in that plane because there's no space in the back to sit. I'm laying there watching, listening to the radios, and all of a sudden, with hearing nothing, the plane just yanks to the left. And I'm like, holy hell. And the next thing you know, within milliseconds, two streaks went by the left wing, going the opposite direction. So he and the pilot were looking at checklists, and it was on autopilot because that's what they do. And he said, yeah, I looked up and just all of a sudden saw them coming straight towards the wing. And so I didn't say anything to the captain. The pilot, I just yanked it left. And I could have died. But I didn't. I escaped death by seconds, though. Similar thing happened with the RC-135 when the first woman, Renata Groves, flew on a mission over South Korea. And it came time to, they were on their track and they almost got hit head on by an A6 that belonged to the Navy. So, first woman, then that happened. For the underpass, there's the sit go sign. Oh, I'm not needing the handrail now. All right, now I can loosen my grip and change hands. Oh, that's so dumb. But it's just the way it is. Alright, so this is Beacon Street, which is kind of a main east-west street. And a little bit of a diagonal, a weave through the street. Not that kind of weave. Anyway. Part of Beacon Street out by my neighborhood is where the marathon runners come down after they come off of Commonwealth. Just a few miles from the finish at that point. So, and the street that we're walking along is Massachusetts Avenue. So it comes across that bridge. So it runs through most of the city, including at a part called, it's Mass and Cass, Milne Cass Boulevard. It was a big homeless encampment and open-air drug market. They're still all around that area. They got a lot of them services and temporary housing, but more show up. A lot of that, there's more services in big cities. Some people want to talk about like homelessness as something that cities aren't managing. Well, small states, they come from your small states to the big cities because they get more services. And I know this by personal experience. So I'm not from Boston, I'm from Indianapolis. I've been here 6 years. City Liquors. So this is Marlborough Street. Marlborough's a town in Central Mass. I used to talk to somebody online from there. Maybe 20 years ago. Okay. We're coming up to, this is Commonwealth in Massachusetts. And on the other side of that, way down, you can probably barely see a black T and a white circle. That's the Heinz Convention Center and BTA stop, which is my way home, which is good after 3.5 miles. Not bad for an old fat guy. All right, so as you can see, downtown Boston is that way. Prudential Center is there. Let's see if we, oh, that's glare. So we're at Commonwealth in Massachusetts. We're just around the 20-minute mark, which is where I like to keep these, so I'm going to bid you adieu. And until next time, like, subscribe, leave me a comment and say I made it. Love y'all.